Today I'm putting on my homemaker hat because guess what? I realized that I can't do it all. I know, shocking, right? I discovered that I can't do everything. I like to say that I'm a full-time homemaker, but the reality is I'm not a full-time homemaker. This is my job, and the more I lean into doing this, the more on top of YouTube and coaching and Diva and the Divine in general that I am, the homemaking kind of suffers. I'm not gonna lie to you. And that's completely normal, right? It's totally normal. And instead of holding myself to this unrealistic expectation of being the perfect homemaker, the perfect housewife, and running a business on the side, I decided to flip the script. I am a YouTuber and content creator first, and I do homemaking because everybody needs to maintain their home, right? So with this mindset shift, I have started to reprioritize the way some of the homemaking tasks have been done in my house. And so today I'm going to share with you 5 hacks, 5 tips, 5 tricks, whatever you want to call them, that I have been using that have been game-changing in freeing up time because I have been so busy lately. I'm going to apologize in advance if you hear the rain in the background. I've already started filming. I've got the momentum, so I'm going to keep going. But if you hear background noise, it's raining. And the forecast says it was supposed to be sunny all day today. So much for that. Welcome to summer in the Midwest. If you are new here, hello, my name is Brianna. I am the diva behind Diva and the Divine, and I am so glad you clicked on this video today. I am a wellness coach, content creator, and yes, I am a homemaker too, sharing my journey through life, finding balance in health and confidence to become my best self, and coaching other women to do the same thing. And while I don't necessarily coach homemaking, no wait, that's actually not true. Literally one of my clients, one of our primary things we're doing is basically homemaking coaching, if you really think about it. So I do coach homemaking. Forget I even said that. Let's move on. Today we're talking about homemaking and the tips that I have for busy people trying to maintain their home. And the first one is shared grocery lists. Y'all, it's 2023. We have phones, we have apps, we have tablets, we have a million different digital ways that we can stay in sync with the people we care about most. One of the most game-changing things that I have done for the sanity of my grocery list is to create a shared list with my husband. On that list, both of us can add or subtract things at any given moment, and it will automatically update for the other person. So when my husband runs out of cheese or runs out of bread or realizes we need light bulbs, he can open his little list, write it on there, and then next time I go to Target, I check the list, and lo and behold, everything that he needs that he hasn't verbally told me he needs is automatically there, which basically just saves me the hassle of having to go, hey, I'm going to Target, do you need anything? He especially hates when I do that when he's already started work for the day, because my husband does work from home. At 10 o'clock, I will be like, you know what? I need to go to Target for a few things. And now that I'm sitting here thinking about it, I do need to go to Target for a few things. And it's raining outside, which makes me really not want to go to Target for a few things, but I digress. He hates when I go, hey babe, I'm going to Target, do you need anything? He's like, now is not the time to ask me. And then of course there's inevitably something he needs that he forgot to tell me in real time, and then it's not here, blah, 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 blah. Do you have kids that are old enough to use devices? It's a great thing to have everybody who lives in the house able to access this particular list. Whatever you use. I just use the Apple Reminders app on my phone. And anybody who has access to it can add to it, or if they go to the store, they can remove from it. It saves so much time and, more importantly, so much hassle when it comes to getting what you need out of the people you live with in terms of a grocery list. Thing number 2 is meal prep and meal plan. I know, it's kind of counterintuitive sometimes when you spend 3 hours meal prepping, but hear me out, really. If you can find a period of time that you can actually do a little bit of meal prepping, great. But more importantly than the prepping, while I'm a big believer in at least having your produce prep for the week, make sure all of your fruits and vegetables are washed, easily accessible for snacking, things of that nature. Maybe make up any salads or whatever that you're going to have for the week. But more importantly, having a meal plan takes all of the guesswork out of having to maintain your meals for the week. What I really love to do is have one breakfast for the week, 1 or 2 lunches for the week, and then 2 or 3 dinners for the week. When I cook in batches. I cook with the intention of not having to cook for another 2 to 3 days. Now, I know this is easier said than done because it's just me and my husband and I don't have 4 growing mouths to feed or anything like that. So if anybody with children does a meal planning, meal prepping strategy, Tell us about it in the comments below. I would love to hear tips from people with kids, but for me, I will make in mass, especially protein, because we love to eat protein in this house. Last week, I made chicken breasts and chicken thighs from a Passionate Penny Pincher recipe, Dijon chicken. It was so good. The amount of protein I made literally lasted me. I cooked it on Monday. I didn't have to cook again until Friday. It was magical. It was the easiest week of meals ever, and it saved me so much time. By spending that time cooking that meal, prepping that thing, and having the plan, it ultimately saves me time because everybody knows what to eat. Half of the time the food is already made and all of the snacks, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever is already prepped, or at least as prepped and planned as possible. Do not discount the power of meal planning and meal prepping, my friends. It feels daunting, but it will save you so much time. This is a new one for me, and it is one that I'm really enjoying, and that is creating a kinder cleaning schedule. Previous Brianna, and we're talking like a month ago, Brianna, had a cleaning schedule of I want to do the same tasks every single week. Clean the bathroom, dust, vacuum, clean the mirrors, all like list the things, like right, all of the things, vacuuming, mopping the floors. All of these things were on a weekly rotation, and trying to fit an entire house cleaning schedule into 1 week only to have it start again, especially when my job ebbs and flows week to week. During batch week, I am much less available to do house cleaning than I am during a non-batch week or a post-batch week. But I realized that this week over week over week over week schedule is really too much and kind of unnecessary, to be honest. So I heard this from Amy Landino, and it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Dividing up your cleaning tasks into A week and B week, and then alternating which week it is. It literally divides your tasks in half. It's brilliant. So what you gotta do then is take a list of all of the tasks that you try to accomplish, let's say in a month. How many times do you clean the bathrooms, you clean the counters, you clean the floors, you dust, you do windows, you whatever the case may be. Deep clean the shower, all of that stuff, right? What you do then is you divide it into 3 different columns, right? The things that you can do week 1, the things that you can do week 2, and then the things that really only need to be attended to once a month. And then once you have those things listed out, all you gotta do is alternate the schedules. So instead of doing the same 20 tasks every single week, you've literally cut your workload in half. Now, of course, there are exceptions. If there's a mess, you need to vacuum. If you have a dog, maybe vacuuming is on the list every single week, but you get what I'm saying. Sometimes I notice when I go to clean the bathrooms on a Monday that they really don't need more than a really quick wipe down. In that case, I don't need to get out all of the heavy duty cleaners. I don't need to put on the rubber gloves, and I don't need to take half an hour to do it. I can do a quick wipe down and boom, it's done and good enough until next week. Taking this new approach to cleaning has really freed up a lot of time and relieved a lot of pressure on my mental load of having to feel like I need to do every task every week. It has been game changing. Something that we can kind of add on to that, but my next tip is the 10-minute tidy. If you haven't embraced a sort of 10-minute tidy strategy, I highly recommend it because you wake up to a beautiful home every single day. What the 10-minute tidy is before you go into veg out mode for the day. I don't know if your evening routine has a veg out mode. Mine does. Once my husband is done with his stuff and I'm done with our stuff and the kitchen is all put away, we tend to sit down and watch an episode or 2 of television before we get ready to go to bed. We have started implementing a 10-minute tidy, and sometimes we do this together, sometimes we do it individually, or sometimes I just do it myself. But all it is you take 10 minutes, and of course your amount of time can vary. It can be 5 minutes, it can be 15 minutes, whatever you want. But you set the timer for 10 minutes and you go, okay, what can I take care of in 10 minutes just to make things look presentable? Can you pick up a couple things that have been cluttered throughout the day? Wipe down the countertops, reset the coffee maker, wipe down the kitchen table, fold up some blankets that have been used, things of that nature. Just take 10 minutes to do the quick tidying of the things, and you will find that in 10 minutes, you can actually get a lot done. The home is reset for the next day, and you can go to bed and wake up, more importantly, with a tidier home with only 10 minutes of your time. 10 minutes of your time over a week is just over an hour of time. But in my opinion, if you were to take that entire hour and do tidying, I find it would actually be a little bit less effective. I personally function really well under pressure. So if I know I only have 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, how much can I get done in 10 minutes? The amount of output that I get from those 7 10-minute intervals is probably going to be greater than having one 1 hour and 10-minute interval. Does that make sense? Give it a try. Let me know if you tried it and how it worked out for you down below. And then my last tip, hack, trick, whatever you want to call it, is arguably the most important. And that is having to sit down, have an honest conversation with yourself about what good enough looks like. Because let's be honest, there's many of us that aspire to have the beautiful, pristine and clean and tidy home 24/7, but reality dictates that's probably not very realistic now, is it? So there needs to be a gray area between completely and totally decluttered, disheveled, and dirty and absolutely pristine. Somewhere in here is your own personal good enough. And there are days where your cleaning tasks are gonna need to take the back burner. And so you have to decide what is good enough. Maybe you can't do a whole deep clean of the bathroom, but a quick wipe down of the counter and scrub of the toilet, that's good enough for today. Maybe you can't mop the floor, but you can run the vacuum really quick. Do you get what I'm saying? One of the areas that I have grown in most recently has been finding that flexibility and letting go of perfection for the sake of my mental and physical health. And it is wildly challenging, I'm not gonna lie, because you wanna just convince yourself that you can go, 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 go. You can get it all done, and then you end up down and out because you've burnt yourself out. Finding a little bit more flexibility for the sake of preventing burnout is wildly invaluable. It's priceless, my friends. So anytime that you can do that, and I'm not saying you have to use good enough every single time. Good enough is for those days when you can't get done what you need to get done. Every day I look at my to-do list and I go, okay, that's a lot of stuff to do. What do I have to do today? What does good enough look like today? The other day I went grocery shopping and I went to 4 different stores. It took me 5 hours. I did it all myself. My legs were so tired. I wore my braces so my feet hurt, and it was a whole thing. And my husband was in meetings all day, so he was unavailable to help me haul all of this stuff from Costco and Sam's Club and everything out of the car. I did all of it myself. Silly Brianna, morning Brianna, had every intention of getting up early and going to the grocery stores and starting her shops early, which I did, and then coming home and editing content and working out and doing all of these things. And by the time I got home, I was like, you know what? The fact that I did the grocery shopping today is good enough. And it's just gonna have to be. And I laid low the rest of the day. Why? Because if I had pushed myself further, I would have burnt myself out and probably been down for the count a lot more. Ah, the joys of having a disability. Whether you have a disability or not, everybody has a threshold. And so understanding that some days good enough is your best, good enough is going to change your life. And whether it is homemaking or some other thing, I strongly urge you in many areas of life to find your good enough. And sometimes good enough is more than enough. There you go, my friends, my 5 homemaking hacks for busy people. Let me know in the comments below if you have any hacks that you would like to add. What kind of homemaking time savers do you implement in your homemaking style? I would love to hear from you. If you want to join the Diva and the Divine community, we would love to have you. Just click that little red subscribe button to join our team. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye.